Ready?
Yeah.
Alright,
One, two, two.
Good night, greetings everybody. We are G-Syndicate, and tonight is vibes as we syndicate you vibes, you know. You're gonna be hearing some songs off our upcoming EP. Things gonna be nice. So right about now, we starting with this one. Ready to blow? So are you ready to go? So are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Oh, ready to blow, ready to blow. Oh, so let me go.
Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go.
It's time to start the party. Sometimes we be getting dirty. This time we're starting this thing right. Hey, so just kick off your shoes. It's no time to feel the blues. So baby, we gonna do our thing tonight. Oh, leave the work at home, leave the stress alone. Toss away your worries. Ain't got no time for that, baby. Now you got the chance. Lose your fears, just dance. We're gonna rock this party. Just raise your hands if you're ready.
Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go.
It's time for you to be free. Let's just enjoy the party tonight. We just gonna ease our mind. So just think about the world, 'cause we're not gonna stop at all, and we're just leaving all our fears behind. So leave the work at home, leave the stress alone, toss away your worries. Ain't got no time for that, baby. Now you got the chance. Lose your fear, just dance. We're gonna rock this party. Just raise your hands if you're ready.
Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go.
Let the music take control. Let it seep into your soul. When the bass line starts pulsating, feel the stress evaporate. Let it bring to your mind. There could be no better time to get on the floor, 'cause we're just ready to blow. Ready to blow, start up the show. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark on the trombone.
Start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go.
Give it up for Mark, y'all. So let me go.
Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go.
Ready to blow.
Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go.
Yes, folks, good night one more time. We are G-Syndicate. This next song we're going to do for you, you can find it on our upcoming EP called Revive. We released it last year, and we're ready to rock. This one is called Chemistry.
Hey girl, hey girl. way you're moving, put me in a mood, I'm glad to see you. Your waistline on the baseline, so attractive, I wanna be a captive. I see a smile on your face now, so beautiful, I know you're original.
So come wind up on me, I wanna see if you got good chemistry. And come push back for me, don't hold back, gal, just be free. Love how you dance and show off, show off. You have my attention, girl, you're sweet off. That's why, baby, step out, step out. Just keep it moving, cause we're still grooving. I love how you dance and show off, show off. You have my attention, girl, you're sweet off. That's why, baby, step out, step out. Just keep it moving, cause we're still grooving. We're still grooving. We're still grooving. We're still grooving.
Come talk to me, girl. Classy and intelligent, are you run the world? Let me say face to face. Know you feel the tension, just had to mention. Your brown eyes, shining bright, so gorgeous and glowing like sunlight. I hear your voice, angelic eyes, so amazing, I wanna keep this going.
So come wind up on me, I wanna see if you got good chemistry. And come push back on me, don't hold back, gal, just be free. I love how you dance and show off, show off. You have my attention, gal, you're sweet off. Dance with me, baby, step out, step out. Just keep it moving, cause it's still grooving. I love how you dance and show off, show off. You have my attention, gal, you're sweet off. Dance with me, baby, step out, step out. Just keep it moving, cause it's still grooving. Still grooving. Still grooving. Still grooving.
Hey, girl, I wanna take you home with me.
And hey, girl, show you good energy, yeah.
Hey, girl, I wanna treat you right, you see, you see, you see.
Hey, girl, just the two of us. We can make it if we try, just the two of us.
Just the two of us.
Just the two of us. Building castles in the sky, just the two of us. You and I. What you won't do for love. You try everything, but you won't give up. What you won't do for love. You try everything, but you won't give up. So come wind up on me, I wanna see if you got good chemistry. And come push back on me, don't hold back, gal, just be free. Love your dance and show off, show off. You have my attention, girl, you're sweet off. Dance with me, baby, step out, step out. Just keep it moving, come and still grooving. I love your dance and show off, show off. You have my attention, girl, you're sweet off. Dance with me, baby, step out, step out. Just keep it moving, come and still grooving. I love your dance and show off, show off. You have my attention, girl, you're sweet off. Dance with me, baby, step out, step out. Just keep it moving, we're still moving. I love your dance and show off, show off. You have my attention, dance with me, baby. Step out, step out. Just keep it moving, cause we're still grooving. We're still grooving. Still grooving. Still grooving. Yeah.
The next selection is entitled Englishman in New York, a song made famous by Sting in the 80s. Hope you enjoy.
I don't drink coffee, I drink tea mate. I like my toast on one side. You can hear it in my accent when I talk. I'm an Englishman in New York. See me walking down Fifth Avenue, a walking king here at my side. I take it everywhere I walk. I'm an Englishman in New York. Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York. Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman manners make it man, as someone said. He's a hero of the day. It takes a man to suffer ignorance and smile. Be yourself, no matter what they say. Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York. Englishman in New York. Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York. Modesty's propriety can lead to notoriety. You could end up as the only one. Gentleness, sobriety, are rare in this society. At night a candle's brighter than the sun. In New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made up. There's nothing you can do. In New York, takes more than combat gear to make a man. Takes more than a license for a gun. Confront your enemies, avoid them when you can. A gentleman will walk but never run. If manners make it man, and someone said he's a hero of the day. It takes a man to suffer ignorance and strive. Be yourself, no matter what they say.
We know you sing at home.
Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York. Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York. Englishman in New York City. I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York. Englishman in New York. Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York.
Now, growing up in the 90s, I would have loved these songs. I'm sure those of you that know them will love them as well. So we got two songs coming up for you. We got I Wanna Know by Joe and Someone to Love by John B. and Babyface. Hope you guys enjoy.
It's amazing how you knock me off my feet. Every time you come around me, I get weak. Oh. Nobody ever made me feel this way. No. You kiss my lips and then you take my breath away. So I wanna know what turns you on. Yeah, I wanna know, so I can be all that and more. And I'd like to know what makes you cry. Oh, so I can be the one to always make you smile. Girl, he never understood what you were with. No. And he never took the time to make it work.
Deserve more loving, girl.
Baby, I'm the kind of man who shows consent. Yes, I do. Any way that I can please you, let me learn. So I wanna know what turns you on. Yeah, and I wanna know, so I can be all that and more. And I'd like to know.
Warning. What you are about to hear goes against traditional romantic counsel expressed by friends, family, and Instagram memes and quotes. Open-mindedness is advised.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, and welcome to another edition of the Senate Podcast. I am your host, Neil, joined as always by my brother from another mother, and your host, Derek. And together we bring you another long-term, long-time version of the Senate Podcast. What's going on, my brother? Wait. Hold on, man. Hold on. We got a guest. Wait. I forgot to mention we have a guest. We got the one and the only Dr. Kerry Peart. Dr. Kerry, what's the story? Oh, how everything's shaking, everything moving, everything upright. Okay, good. My brother, how are you? How is everything? Oh, yes. Yeah, it was very hot there. Wait. Hold on. I just realized that they can't hear you. Let me see here. Let me fix that here. Get a solution there. So, all right. Yeah, we good to go now.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, man. That ain't a problem. I was saying, that today was Sports Day 1 of 2. And yeah, so then we had courts of cricket after. I didn't even get a chance to get gym, so man, did some coaching and then come ready for this. So yeah, I hear barely, but I'm here trying to get myself together to get this stuff to you, and so you will notice that stuff is still coming as we speak. But fear not. I am ready. I am prepared. And tonight is going to be one of those shows. So I would suggest that everybody brace. Make sure your tray table in the upright and locked position. Make sure your tray table in the upright and locked position. And brace for impact. Because this is going to, I promise I'll be delicate with it, but it will be honest. Yeah,
Right.
So.
Right. So Dr. Kerry, just repeat for the people how you're doing, how you're feeling, how is everything?
I'm good. I'm ready. I'm bracing for impact.
Bracing for impact.
Ready.
You sure?
Oh, yes. Seatbelt and all.
You know how these things is going. Just be ready until.
Oh, yes.
Until. So, yeah. Anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, we are indeed the Senate Podcast. But before we get into our housekeeping things, let's talk about G-Syndicate and the wonderful singing tones of these 6 extraordinary gentlemen that use nothing but their voice to give you everything you need to hear from a melodic and auditory, harmonic. What, that's a better word. Harmonic standpoint. So Derek, let the people know about G-Syndicate and what's going on with you guys.
Yeah, man. G-Syndicate, we do acapella. We will be at the Sage Bar, April 28th. We'll be there live. We're going to put on, we're trying to put together a 2-hour show. Normally, that's what we do. Anybody that would have come and see us at the Crane back in the day, we would go 2 hours straight, and we just voice as impressive. So we like to do that so we don't break the momentum. But coming out of COVID and the fellas knocking off the rest. So we did 2 45 minutes. The last 2 times we went there, we were trying to see if we can do one full show. So again, that's why you gotta come. Make sure your tray table is upright and lock position, because we coming on rough. April 28th at the Sage Bar. We got the guys KML, Waden, Mark, Brett, Hugh. Brett is recently turned 40. It's not really recent anymore, but I just want to say Brett has recently turned 40, and we still cranking though. So big up the fellas. You can show us out, G-Syndicate6.com. Show us at everything else at G-Syndicate6. That's here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, SoundCloud. Instagram is G-Syndicate6, but you got to be able to spell out 6. So those of you who are not, challenged academically, you should be all right. Those of you who have, some challenges, you could probably, ask a friend or something to help you to find how to spell 6. Yeah.
Google it.
Well, I don't know if you can Google it if you can't spell it, but hey.
Fumble.
Just type in the number. Type in the numbers and see what happens.
Yeah, man. Anyhow, but that is G-Syndicate, so people check them out. Very good group on April 28th at Sage Bar. Check them out. Anyhow, apart from that, we are indeed the Senate podcast, but we have something coming up on May 6th at Ginger Lily Hall, the King's Gathering. It's going to be a big deal. Derek, talk a bit more about what's going on there and, educate.
Yeah. We will be, as Neil is saying, King's Gathering, Ginger Lily Hall, over by the Mannings in the Bell Estate. We'll be there from 10 a.m. and we're going to have presentations, a whole set of presentations. Dr. Kerry is helping me out with it. Dr. Kerry, I apologize, but, we've been insanely busy. You haven't even had the chance to respond to your stuff. But yes, Dr. Kerry is going to be doing a presentation. We've got presentations on fitness, mental health, physical health, finance is a more accurate term. Finance, legal stuff, legal matters as regards to men, to protect yourself and your assets, all that. Presentation on mindset and all that. The right mindset to have, developing a small business, etc., etc. So we can have a good full grand time over by the Mannings. So we invite you all to come out and be a part of that. It's absolutely free. Dress appropriately. It's a King's Gathering, so come dressed as a king. Do not turn up like a parole or a prickle.
Don't do that. And then we are, of course, the Senate podcast. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit notification bell so you don't miss anything. We do content for you often enough. We do 2 shows every week, 2 live shows, and then trying to get back into the swing of doing 3 short form content for you every week, 3 videos a week. The last one we had was a very interesting one. I thought that was one I really liked, where we spoke about this whole transgender situation. So, check us out. We have some content, hit the notification bell, and 200 episodes in, 2 years in, 500 subscribers in. So, yeah, man, give us a like, follow, subscribe. Let me build this content and keep the machine twirling. No, shout out Austin, what a go on. Yes, I know you can't hear everybody, but no, you should be able to hear everyone. Shout out Jason, aka Snow. I saw him today, good fella. I think I hope you would have passed on the live stream to your colleague as well, have them attend as well so they could watch. And then Kevin, of course, shout out Kevin, a senatress. Good night, senators and senatress. That may be a bit sexist because senators are senators, but anyhow, let's keep it moving. No, as I said, every Tuesday and Thursday we come here at 8 p.m. and we talk the things in a non-doodle space in this live stream. And this is obviously no different. Derek would have gone on our social media pages, particularly Facebook. Give us a like and a follow on there. Derek would have gone on tonight. We are speaking about Mommie Dearest. How much are mothers to blame for the dysfunction in our communities? And when I read this today, I said, ooh, boy. I know that a lot of people reading this title would get triggered already because I could already, you've been doing this so long, Derek. You could already hear the detractors. So it's women's fault. But I can let Derek go ahead and I can slot him where he could get in. Dr. Kerry, obviously being our resident woman and doctor in psychology, she should be able to lend her voice in some form or fashion to the discussion. So, yeah, at the very least, we have a beautiful woman in between us that can diffuse your senses as you listen to some rather triggering content. But no, seriously, though, let me get into it. Derek, over to you. Let me get into this very serious topic.
Yeah, man. This one is going to be
as I said, this may be the last, but, I hope it's not. But I felt it necessary to tackle something that's probably a little bit more serious and a bit more hard hitting than what we would normally deal with. And shoot, ain't no time like the present. So we can get into that. So let me just get myself organized in the meantime. Fellas and ladies and gents, as you come in the door, please hit the like button for us. We truly appreciate it. That is the cost of admission. There ain't really much else to pay for. So hit the like button as you come on in. We don't ask for St. Dr. Kerry neither. We don't ask y'all for anything except that you come through. Give us a like, give us a follow, give us a subscribe, hit the notification bell. And we just see where we are. Yes, this is episode 203 of the live stream. Still batting, going forward strong. 203. And I see we only got 5 people in chat so far, which is not really surprising given the title.
But
some people may not want to hear this, but I suppose you'll get it at some point. We got 505 subscribers. So shout out to all of you that have hit the subscribe button already. We truly appreciate that. And it helps. Makes us feel like if we ain't just wasting the time. Come here. Talk when the night come. You know what I mean? But yeah, this is going to be one of those shows. So now, I wonder what you're laughing at, Neil. Right?
Let me just say that's an inside joke between me and somebody.
Yeah, very well, sir.
That I would tell you that when the mics are not hot.
I was wondering if you had received some of the things that I sent you.
Oh no! I already done see the triggering. I see I got one video, but you just want to let this video die. But anyhow,
it's not gonna die.
You
It's not
haven't
gonna
sent me
die.
anything, Derek.
I know. I can fix you up.
Yeah, I need to hook you up.
Yeah, just
so I just catch him a royal little bit,
Yeah,
Okay.
I can sort you out.
But yeah, we just about ready to go, Neil. So shoot, give me we got 2 intro videos for you tonight, folks. So let's get those 2 intro videos and we can come on back.
All right. Well, let me first send the intro videos to Doctor. I want to send this to that one. And let me get this. Let me start off with these first 2. She might send a whole bunch more, boy. Shh. I come to preach tonight.
little bit.
Let me forward this as well. All right. So, no, not that one. That one. All right. So, forward this to you, Dr. Kerry. I will come back with the rest as we go. But anyhow, we're doing video number 1. There, I may have to block you here.
No problem.
Right? I'll block you here, so but let us get it. All right, let's get it in 3, 2, 1. Oh, let me mute that music. Yep. All right. So that is, we get intro video number 2. We get intro video number 2. Oh, jeez, on break.
I fucked the guy and his mom.
What? His stepmom.
No, his like birth mother, and she sucked his dick like. Yeah.
How was that?
It was great. Once he looked at her and told her, yo, come do what you do best, it was downhill from there.
Wait, he told his mom, come do what you do best, and
Come do what you do best. She started sucking his dick, and then at one point they looked at me and he was like, come suck this dick. And I was like, why obliged?
sucked his dick too.
He just sucked his dick too. We both sucked his dick.
Together.
That is one big happy family.
I like that for you. I ain't gonna lie.
I had a threesome with a guy and his mom, and that was like his birth mother.
Wait. Hold on. So, when you say threesome, everybody interacted with each
She
other.
was sucking dick.
Oh my God.
Whoa. Wait.
I wanna go.
Hold up.
Yo.
Like, who's really the worst in the situation, mother or the son?
So that last video is Lady Undertaker. That is Lady Duppies in Thriller. That is World War Z. That video is just the bane of my existence, man. I need to stop it. Need to stop it, man, Derek, man. I can't take it no more. It's how all I can stand, and I can't stand no more.
I can't stand no more.
I can't stand no more, man. Tired of that there.
I love it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are going to the head of the stream. We're going to discuss the role of mothers in our society today. There's a whole lot of dysfunction in our society, and a lot of it can be traced back to our relationships with our mothers. In Black communities especially, the mother is viewed almost as a deity, as God. She is above reproach and criticism. On the flip side, it is assumed that the Black father's absence is what underpins all of our societal ills. The reality is, many of us didn't have our fathers in our lives enough to make a significant detrimental impact on our lives. Ipso facto, we are now forced to look at the mother critically. I know, this could be a potentially contentious topic, so I will attempt to temper my honesty with sensitivity. All right? As you guys would have seen in the first video, which Neil would have had to mute, we had a whole heap of women doing this particular TikTok challenge. And they're doing it mostly with their daughters, but I did see there was one video in there in the compilation where they had some boys involved, right? In this challenge, these children simulate what are tantamount to stripper moves that we call a thing, right? It's those are moves you see by the pool. For those of you who frequent pools, or for those of you who see the pool in a movie. So the children are simulating these moves while their mother leaves the way like a perverse Pied Piper. The R. Kelly, the Pied Piper of R&B. It seems like if every time I open TikTok, I see a different version of this particular challenge. Of course, by now we've all seen the second video. Seen it several times on this particular channel, and as you guys well know, this video is a favorite of mine, not only because it triggers Neil so readily, but also because it encapsulates so much dysfunction in a matter of seconds. There's the sexual dysfunction of the lady speaking. Seems rather calm, but in fact, she just participated with this thing and decided to share it with us all publicly. And then there's the dysfunction of the man with whom she was involved, who felt so calm about telling his mother to come and do what you do best.
Here, Joe.
But what often gets minimized and even lost in all of this is the role of the mother in that scenario. At the end of that video, the lady in the red, she asked a very critical question. Who's really worse, the mother or the son? And a lot of people would try to believe that it's really the son. But the reality is, a young boy or a young man, or even an old man, doesn't just wake up and decide he wants to put his dick in his mother's mouth, and then she's willing to do it. Yeah, I said that just to trigger you a little bit.
That's beer jump, man. Hey, no, this ain't right.
An action like that requires years of dysfunction. Now, let me be clear, very intentional grooming to get to the point to be able to not only perform an act like that, but to be quite comfortable doing it, and then doing it and adding in a stranger. So allow me to provide a window into how we get to that point. So we're going to start tonight off with the patron saint, Tia Mowry.
All right.
Let's get Tia Mowry. It seems as if since her divorce, Tia has become the poster child for dysfunction. And in this clip we're going to watch, she gets into a heated exchange with her teenage son. Let's have a watch of that.
It's gonna be one of them shows, people. I told you it's gonna be one of them shows. But let me get it. All right, in 3, 2, 1.
Why? It's a bathing suit. Oh, really? It's a bathing suit. Then why are you wearing high shoes, huh? They're boots. Beyonce. Don't care. Rihanna. Don't care.
I just want to play that again, right? Because I'm gonna pause it on what Tia has on, right? Shoot, I even make it bigger. Because I'm that kind of person. Look, she did that. Right? That is what she is wearing. And showing, trying to get approval from her son. Who it was that we watched it was Mr. Let It Go? It was
Mr. Let Go.
Mr. Let Go, sorry. Right. Mr. Let Go. He had a very good video on that. But anyhow, this is your show, brother. Let me go.
No, when I watched it for, all I could say was, holy incest, Batman. If ever you guys wanted to see a son husband in the making, this is the clip to watch.
You see, my little man was about it though.
Yeah, you remember my boy. But that's a very interesting point, right, Neil? We can get that in a minute. Don't let me forget it. Here we have this middle-aged. I can assume she lived to 90. So this middle-aged woman parading in front of her teenage son, early teenage son, at that, in a swimsuit and thigh-high boots. Well, she said it was a swimsuit, not me. That's what she said, right? And asking him if he liked it. And Neil, please roll it back so that we can see her expressions when she comes into the room, into the kitchen, almost like, you really like it, that kind of way. Roll it back for the people, Neil, because I want the people to see this here.
Right, I can even make it a little bigger even because I want, get it closer. So let me get it. Yep. I got pause there, so I see she there holding her hands. She's looking for
vision toward, toes pointing in. As you said, you're looking for approval from her teenage son. Right. It was almost as if her son was her man. I see my man Ramel Hall in the house. Shout out Ramel. Good to see you, boy. The time differences be a little while, but good to see you in the crank.
For sure.
Yeah. Make no mistake about it, folks. This is as cringe as it gets. I want you all to imagine a man now going into the kitchen in a similar kind of outfit. A man ain't gonna wear a swimsuit, but he definitely, wear a Speedo or something slick down. I'm having a similar conversation with his teenage daughter, and tell me what your response would be. Yeah, just let her marinate in your brain a little bit as we move on, folks. This is episode 203 of the Senate Podcast, the live stream version. This is Mommie Dearest. This is the title of tonight's show. Please hit the like button on the way in. Let's move on with a random picture of Fred and Wilma Flintstone. Let's do that. And then let's have a not so random picture of Shensia and her young son cosplaying the Flintstones last Halloween. Anybody remember the nature of the relationship between Fred and Wilma? If you remember their relationship, you're not neighbors, not friends.
Neighbors.
Yeah. So if you do remember the nature of that relationship, then these pictures of Shensia and her son become a little bit more cringe worthy. But because I am who I am, we are coming down swift and fast, right? Let us move forward, Neil, and let's get Amber Rose. You could put that graphic on screen while they talk over that.
Yeah, she did.
Her son is defending her for being on OnlyFans. And it seems as if he's being bullied at school and getting into fights because of her chosen field of employment.
We did a story on that.
Right? Now, here's the thing, folks. Amber Rose also went on a show recently and let people know that her son comes and he asks her if she needs a tampon and if she wants him to bring the tampon for her, etc., etc. Now, I know that might sound cute to some, ladies and gents, I assure you, there ain't nothing cute about that. Right? Neil, I don't know, Neil. We are close. We haven't been that close that you would tell me if you were engaging with your mother on such a level, but I assure you that I have not.
Put the camera up on me. Like, put it. Hell, okay, no.
There you go.
Hell no. Like 0. That's a cool seg, buddy.
Somebody tells me that the gentlemen in the chat, they too have not engaged with their mother on a level where it requires them to go and bring, fetch, and carry feminine hygiene products. They had a girlfriend that called them that. Feminine hygiene products.
That was a cool seg, buddy.
Yeah, so gentlemen, if you've ever had that experience, put a 1 in the chat. If you've never had that experience, put some 2s in the chat of having to go and fetch and carry. Going and asking your mother. This is what we would see even more cringe. Going and asking your mother if she wants you to bring a tampon for her.
I'm making these story. You good bring tampons? No.
Yeah.
Nope.
No. That
will never happen. You will never live to see that happen.
But again, these are things that people want us to think are cute. Unfortunately, these are the behaviors that we want to normalize. We want to normalize these kind of things. And this has become akin to like a gateway drug that leads to many of our young boys and men being sexualized, overly so, and abused early in their lives. It goes unnoticed and unreported, and the effects last and are observed well into their adulthood. Now, I want to show you guys a slideshow that I put together for this particular show. And most of these incidents came to light within days of each other. Now, these incidents, they're not mothers, let me be very clear, but they're more like maternal figures in the lives of the victims that they would have impacted. And these all were posted, I think, within the span of like 3 days, right? So, Neil, give me that slideshow there, so let me get it.
All right, let me get it. This is the spiritual word one, right?
That's right.
All right, well, let's let's get it. Let me make it. I want to see Derek face as we do this. Let's get it.
Destiny Hillsman, 25, a Houston teacher at a Holland middle school, was arrested and charged for grooming, texting, and kissing middle school girls. 34-year-old Teacher of the Year, Jacqueline Ma, arrested for alleged sexual abuse of former student. 31-year-old Connecticut married lunch lady, arrested after having sex with 14-year-old boy and sending him nudes. And finally, a 45-year-old cheer coach charged with rape after allegedly having sex with her daughter's 16-year-old boyfriend 300 times.
Something is wrong here.
Next, right? You can't use you gotta say great. It's great, man. You gotta say great, man.
I thought about it, but they say, you know what? In for a penny, in for a pound. Let the words hit home. I don't want because this is even though I put in that little kicks there, so at the beginning and the end, it's a serious matter.
Yeah, and matter.
I decided not to pull the punches on when I read it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, those are all maternal figures in the lives of those children. All of them came to light, as I said, within the span of like 48 hours, 72 hours, something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have another compilation for you guys, and I want you to watch this one. First, the compilation needs no setup, no intro. We can just let that play. But then there's another video that I want. Second video you're going to watch is going to be the mother of a rapper called Blueface. And I want you to hear what she has to say about her son and her man. So let's watch the first video, and then we come right back.
Oh my God, block out your face here, Derek.
That ain't no problem. They ain't got to see me. They got to see this here.
All right, let me get it. That was extremely hard to watch.
I know, right? Now,
That
here's
was
the thing, right, Neil?
really
Here's
hard to
the
watch.
thing. Now, I know defenders of this kind of thing will say it, right? It's presenting enough reality, right? It's presenting enough reality when you're like, oh, face to face, Dr. Kerry, right? This is awesome. This is awesome.
We know starting
like,
Dr. Kerry.
This is like you know, like grand. This is like level 9,000 triggering here, right? Now I know people that are detractors, as Neil will call you, will watch this and they will say, all of these examples are from Hollywood and overseas. These people are weird. That and so don't happen here, right? That can't happen here in this country, right? The problem with this assertion is that it doesn't only happen overseas, because every year we complain about grown women who chip back to get jut down by young boys on Kaduma Day. A lie or not? As a matter of fact, I see that Aston has already noted that in this chat. Thank you, so and Ramel as well. Thank you so much. Guys, you are almost ahead of me. Yeah? We see it every year. And I have seen a young boy jut down his own mother at a school event. Yeah, so that's on 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, no, sorry, more to eyes, they sent me home. He left the event immediately. And then there's this lady here, and you put her on screen for us, please. This lady's here, the choker lady, who taught her baby to get her man's attention.
Let me get.
Please
this
put her on screen.
Let's deal up.
Yeah. Do I need to read the article? Do I? Should I? Should I?
Big drop.
Let me read it, ma. Accused says she was not trying to hurt the child. She just wanted attention from her daughter's dad. A young woman who filmed herself choking her 1-year-old daughter to get the attention of the father has admitted her guilt and is now spending 1 month in prison on remand. Now, I would like you guys to imagine
1 month, boy,
what a man would get for choking a child. She get a month.
He would do a bill of prison over him, man.
Yeah. The tearful mother was warned by this island's chief magistrate that children must not be used as pawns in any situation, after she explained that she had made the video ill-treating her child simply to get the attention of the child's father. The 27-year-old woman who has other children pleaded guilty to the October 15th offense of willfully ill-treating her child in a manner likely to cause unnecessary suffering or injury. And that was October 15th. So she's out. This definitely is 2021. She's definitely
out. She ain't about there anymore.
Give me the Blueface video, Neil.
Right, let me get Blueface.
Let's get Blueface's mom. I want you guys to listen carefully to Blueface's mom. She's a little entertaining, depending if you like that kind of ghetto stuff. But, you know, have a listen to Blueface's mom and let's hear what she has to say as well.
All right, let me get it in 3, 2, 1.
If y'all say stay out his business, I don't mind if you say weird stuff. Just don't be saying the stuff about I want to sleep with him. That's just going too far, okay? I got my own over here, and it's bigger than my son, okay? So we gonna get that all cleared up for y'all. And if y'all need me to post that so that y'all know what I'm working with over here, you know I ain't got a problem with it. I will go home and get it up for you right now and post you a nice little pic. Calm down. They can go first or last. I know how to drive and talk. You know I'll be doing this. Y'all know what y'all not going to be saying. What y'all not going to ever be saying is that I will post my for you.
Tell me, strap.
No, she's saying she was going to get her man's penis up so she can show you what she's working with.
No, I thought that, right?
Now
but
she's making the comparison between her man's penis and her son's penis.
But you know, right? Anyhow, you go on, man. Well, at first I was like, "That what she's saying."
This is that kind of episode, guys. Buckle in. I told you to buckle in, right?
So
told you to buckle in.
Hurtful.
Now, here's the problem. Here is why we see things like this. And I know some of you are wondering, because I ask all the time, why do we record these things, put them up for public consumption? So here are the two things wrong here. The two things are combining to give us all of this preponderance of evidence I presented to you tonight, right? The first problem is that we don't want to acknowledge that males can be sexually assaulted Let me stop right there. I was going to make that, put in the conjunction and make that 2 sentences, but I'm going to stop right there. First sentence, we do not want to acknowledge that males can be sexually assaulted. Yeah, we get Aston on that crank there, so it is Aston. It is Aston. I said what I said. We do not want to acknowledge that males can be sexually assaulted. Secondly, we don't want to acknowledge that women can be guilty of sexual assault of males. Again, I said what I said. We do not want to acknowledge that women can be guilty of sexually exploiting and assaulting males. Those are the two problems that are combining to give us this, right? That's really what's going on. We don't want to acknowledge that males can suffer sexual assault from women, and we don't want to acknowledge that women can be guilty of sexually assaulting males. So here's a harsh reality, folks. Women have no problem sexualizing young boys because they know there will be little to no repercussions. This is why a woman can make a video talking about having a sleepover with a schoolboy. Having a sleepover with a schoolboy. And people assume she was trying to be funny. And because I am who I am, I have that video. Give me the unfunny lady there, Neil. And let us watch this very cringe video.
Yeah, this buckle up.
You Belgian schoolboys is like big hardback men. I will never forget years ago. I had met this guy on Facebook, this youngster on Facebook. That time I had a car back that time. Anyway, many fellas to talk on Facebook, talk good and thing, a nice looking brown skin fella with beard and thing, you know. He's sweet, you know. Anyway, we decided we're gonna meet up. So he told me where he had to live, and I had to go and meet him, pick him up from his house, because he was gonna come over, sleep over. Anyway, I go in the night time, pick up the fella now. He come out with his little bag and everything. Next thing I see this buddy run out and look in the car, and all I hear was, she's a big fat can woman. Anyway, he told me to drive, and so I did. He drive and gone along now, I gone on home, and I keep asking him, who's that woman that run out there and said that is a big fucking woman? Cause I lost what going on. Anyway, he said, man, don't worry about that there. Next thing you know, I see he opened the little hammersack he had and take out this book. I was like, what's that book? He said, I got schoolwork. I got my schoolwork. What the? Huh? You go to school? That what you trying to tell me? That's why the body come out and said that is a big fucking woman. A fucking schoolboy. You believe that? I gotta get charged. A schoolboy. Anyways. And he got math homework, but he used to get 6 in math, and she tries. So how the fuck is any help to he? Well, I found out he's a schoolboy. Anyways, he spent the night. In morning time, he gonna ask me if I could drop his school. Excuse me, sir? But you really want me to get locked up? Anyway, to the front or the back of the school. But he was that sweet, though. I had to drop you off. Just saying, don't let these schoolboys fool you here. They only look old, but they ain't old.
No, I would like to bring a point. I'm glad this brought her. I thought you were going to do this as a short, right? Dr. Kerry, hold on, sweet girl. Hold on. I thought we was going to do this as a short at some point, right? But anyhow, I'm glad that we brought this to the front. First things first, right? I always put these things. I cannot imagine a man, a Barbadian man, or many men posting a videos with a conversation like that or an experience like that. I can't imagine a man picking up a schoolgirl and the mother or the father coming outside and saying that is a big so-and-so man. And the woman to drive, the girl to drive, and we drive off. I can't imagine she's staying the night when they find out that person is a schoolgirl. I can't imagine saying that posting that online. Right? And I can't imagine the person trying to make it a funny story because she said, I used to get 6 in math and this and that and next. Trying to make it like light and funny or to the front, to the back of the school. I cannot imagine a man not only posting that, but making light of it and it coming over as nobody saying anything. Can you imagine if one of we had do that, Derek? We'd be all over social media in a heartbeat.
Yep.
We probably would get covered by mainstream news simply because of how viral it would have gone. That is insane, yo.
Stuff like that. Shoot, man, it's go viral for less.
Shit.
You know what I'm saying? So the man can't sit there like that. And guess what? She tried, as you said, she tried to make it light, but ain't there funny about that?
Ain't nothing at all funny about that,
Yeah?
boy.
And the fact that there are no repercussions, no consequences for sexual abuse against boys is why she can post a video like that. It's also why a woman can get pregnant for a 13-year-old boy and not do a day in time. So let me get that one here, because you know you're looking forward to this one here. Let me get that one.
We had covered this in a show. I can't
No,
remember.
we had not.
Well, let me get it, because this is one that, I don't want. Yeah, let me get it.
Let's read the article from the Daily Mail, folks. Woman 31 who had sex with 13-year-old boy and then became pregnant with his child will serve no jail time, but will have to register as a sex offender under plea deal. A 31-year-old Colorado woman won't see the inside of a prison cell despite admitting to having sex with a 13-year-old boy in June 2022. It later emerged that Andrea Serrano had become pregnant as a result of the sexual assault on the minor. Let me read that again, because words matter. It later emerged that Andrea Serrano had become pregnant as a result of the sexual assault on the minor. She was freed shortly after her original arrest in July of last year on a $70,000 bond. The Fountain Police Department had charged Serrano with sexual assault on the child by one in a position of trust, which is why I showed you the slideshow earlier, as well as sexual assault on the child. Investigators said that Serrano admitted to the relationship. That's funny. On Friday, it was widely reported that Serrano's lawyers had come to a plea deal with the prosecutors that will force her to register as a sex offender, but means she will avoid prison. Do you guys think are the odds of a man avoiding prison if he had impregnated a 13-year-old girl and he had been arrested for it?
They would have called the section of that prison after that man.
Yeah, he would have his own block.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since her arrest, Serrano has given birth to the teen's baby. The child is in her care. His family are planning to petition the courts to gain custody. The victim is now 14 years old. So even a year, he's still not legal. He's still got some time to get there. We see a picture of Miss Serrano here.
I love the wording of this.
She's
article.
accused of having a mother-figure relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Serrano was first questioned by police after a therapist found out and came forward with the allegations. After being interviewed by the Fountain Police Department, Serrano confessed to her crimes. He looked at her like a mother figure and even called her mom.
That's insane. That is.
Yeah. I feel like my son is robbed of his childhood. Now he's having to be a father. He's a victim, and he's going to have to live with that for the rest of his life. The victim's mother told KKTV after the plea deal was made public. I feel like if she was a man and he was a little girl, it would definitely be different to all the things, Mommy. They will be seeking more. I feel like because he is not a woman, they are having compassion for her. And people think that life is so hard for women and life is so easy for men. At the time of her arrest, KOAA reported that Serrano and her victim were living together for a time.
Mom.
The victim's actual mother told the Gazette that she spoke with the child in the case prior to the plea deal being accepted to voice her displeasure. She's facing a hearing in May that will determine the length of her probation. Wow. Ain't life grand, gentlemen and ladies? Ain't life grand?
No, I want. Again, I need to say something here, right? Like, you remember when we were young, right? And not even when we were young, but there's also this pervasive thought that when young boys get some loving from a woman, if he's a boy, right? In your teens, and you get the loving from an older person, an older woman, that you's a shotter.
It was the greatest thing.
Yeah. Now, I told people, even before I had my son, I said this years and years ago. I said, if anybody were to touch my son in a sexual manner as a woman, I think I would go for that person the same way as if it was a girl I had. And now that I've had my son, right? if I were, if my son were to come home and say, Daddy, Miss so and so made me do so and so and so and so, somebody would have to restrain me from getting for that woman. You understand? They're not a cute or because you know me, Derek, I'm a firm proponent. Children should be left alone. Let them enjoy life, have their innocence. Let them children enjoy their childhood because when life started kicking them door as adults, it's get rough in the juggling. Let them children have their innocence. So I don't care. And this, again, nobody has ever said that I rating a young boy that is 12 that has sex with a woman that's 20. You never hear me say that. You never hear me say that. And I will say it here again, right? If you out there and you troubling a young boy, because that way is you troubling a young boy, right? You want burying under prison. You understand? And this ain't got nothing to do with leave the children alone. Let children be children. All that twerking video and all that foolishness with the children, let the children be children here. I try hard to preserve my son's innocence by slowly interjecting certain things to my son as the years go on. Right? I try hard because I know when life start to raid the man place. Like life just come hard. Bills, women, shoot, education, shoot, just life in general.
Comes at you fast, man.
I want my child to go get therapy for something that a grown person do, a grown adult do to him. Nah, stop that.
I see Marissa in the chat. Marissa, I don't know if it's your first time, but good seeing you. Thank you for your comment. Marissa says, morals gone through the wayside. When God on the picture, this is what will happen in society. And yes, I don't want to get too churchy on it or too pastorally, but you're right. There got to be some kind of spiritual grounding. There got to be some kind of spiritual foundation. And what you find is that people who want to behave in the ways that we have highlighted tonight, the first thing they do is discard God, get God out of the picture. Because once God out of the picture, once there's a higher power, once there's a deity involved, it removes the rules, it removes the restrictions. Anarchy is not allowed.
You have to have a line in the sand. You have to have a compass. You have to have rules.
And there's no line.
You got moral compass. I don't care if you believe in Allah, Buddha, God, Jesus. It does not matter. But to say that everybody be airy-fairy and is a makeup thing and we could...
Can't work.
Cannot work.
It
can't work because humans capable of some atrocious things if left unchecked. All right.
Mix up is Bunny Wailer. Mix up modes and attitudes. Won't work. Yeah. Remember that, folks.
Love Jamaica.
Oh, dear Marissa, that's a curse word in here, boy. It takes away the accountability.
And that's a fact. But yes, it takes away accountability, and you are absolutely right? But I think that you get to hide behind immoral acts and mediocrity. You get to hide behind,
only God could judge me.
Yeah.
It's Tupac.
Yeah.
Because it pulls everybody down to like, but you can't stand in judgment of me. Who's you? Use God? No, hell no, I'm not God.
Yeah, but
we're all imperfect. Therefore, by that reasoning, none of us should be able to stand in judgment over anybody else. And that's really what it is.
Yeah, but twerking on you toddler is a problem, though.
Well,
twerking on you toddler is...
Neil,
I know to be a God. I know to, as a man would say, I gotta be a Jesus man. Twerking on you toddler is wrong.
But here's the thing, Neil. The thing. I don't know if you noticed at the end of the first intro video, it had some screenshots attached. Right? It had some screenshots attached. Those were the comments on the videos, all complimentary.
Yes. She knew the assignment.
Complimentary. Yeah?
It's insane, though. That's
where we are.
Too much is sufficient, boy.
Let me say this. Ladies, your son is just that. You're a son. It's not your man. It's not your king, your little prince, all them things. He's your son. Because if you flip the genders, it becomes a bit creepy. And one guy, he did just that to demonstrate exactly what we mean. So let's check out these two posts that we found on by the Queen of Accountability. And this lady posted this one with this little dude pumping gas, and it says, "This morning my baby said, 'Ma, let me pump your gas.' You'll never need a man long as you got me. I'm your man. I am all you need. I love you, and I promise to be better than what was taught to me. Hear me when I say you won't need a man for nothing. Y'all, I cried. He made my day. I've got a little dude pumping gas. Now, here's the thing. This little man is all of 2.5. All of 2.5. Remember the thing? You get that kind of things, that kind of talk from, you'll never need a man as long as you got me. Where you think that come from? I am your man. I am all you need. Where you think you get that from? You just wake up and say that?
That's insane, yo. That is insane.
But because, men are who they are these days and men ain't taking the bad up, men pushing back. So this was the response from one guy. How does this sound? This morning, my daughter said, Dad, let me cook and wash your clothes for you. You'll never need a woman as long as you got me. I'm your woman. I'm all you need. I love you and I promise to be better than what was taught to me. Hear me when I say you won't need a woman for nothing. No.
I think
you
right.
See how weird and cringe, yeah, I've used that word a lot tonight to try to fit in with the young people. How weird and cringe that sounds, right?
That's, I just saying for me.
Ladies, if you want a king, you have to go and compete with other women to get one. You can't just have a boy child and make him your king.
Yeah, don't read. That's Oedipus. That was a whole play by Shakespeare. Don't do that.
Yeah, that's son-husband action. Nor, ladies, can you have a girl and be upset that she's all of you. Let me say here at this point now. The abuse is not only limited to and directed at our boys. Many of our girls suffer because of the narcissism, psychopathy, and Machiavellianism of their mothers. And those of you who are wondering why I highlight those 3 character traits, we did a stream on that a couple months ago about the dark triad traits. So feel free to check out that live stream. I can get a link and put it in the chat for you about this particular topic. So while the dysfunction may not always be of a sexual nature when it comes to the girls, most definitely, much of the aggression which our girls display can be traced back to their interactions and relationships they have had with their mothers. And if you guys remember, last year, you had a whole set of videos come out over girls fighting. Then the year went long, they had enough videos coming out, school girls fighting. Yeah? But I ain't gonna talk about that now. We're gonna talk about that Thursday when he live stream. So allow me to present these 3 articles before I close out and turn over to Dr. Kerry and Neil for their input. Let's get this first one from the spiritual word. I'd like to think that I've presented more than enough reality and dysfunction for you guys to serve a very long time. Ghost Pepper in the house, good to see you. Hit the like button on the way in, folks. So let's get this one from the New York Post. Grinning mom arrested over allegedly abandoning kids for 2 months in Texas. A Texas mom accused of leaving her 2 young children to fend for themselves for 2 months grinned wide. Well, that should be widely false, but hey. Wide as she was apprehended in Alabama on Wednesday and reportedly asked cops for permission to put on lipstick for the camera. So let me go back to Marissa's comment here. Like the young people say, doing everything for the likes and laughs.
Do it for the likes, man.
Let me continue. Raven Yates, 31, was all smiles when members of a U.S. Marshals task force caught up with her in Mobile, where she had been living. Stephen Carlisle, chief of police in Roman Forest, Texas, told station KTRK that officers had to break down a bedroom door inside an apartment to take Yates into custody around 4:30 p.m. She was photographed in handcuffs with a full smile on her face and seemingly unbothered by the charges against her for allegedly putting her own children in danger. I think she was playing for the camera. She wanted to have a smile. She wanted to look good. The arresting officer reportedly said she asked about putting lipstick on before the photo was taken. Yates is accused of abandoning her 12-year-old daughter and 3-year-old son at their home on Maplewood Ridge Drive in Roman Forest on September 28th. And there we have Our Lady, giving Yates all smiles and camera ready after having abandoned her children for 2 months. According to investigators, Yates threatened her daughter that if she told anyone about the alleged neglect, her dad would take the girl away and separate her from her half-brother who has a different biological father.
Hey.
My sit down and put your tray in the upright position.
This one rough. This one here bothering me. This one rough.
Police said the 12-year-old was able to surreptitiously procure food by regularly asking her father to order takeout under the guise that Yates was tied up at work. It was not until family members spotted Yates in Mobile in November that they alerted her daughter's father. Police got a call from the man on November 14th, reporting that his daughter and her younger brother had been home alone for nearly 2 months with limited access to food and medicine, according to a press release. The father, who lived and worked in California, traveled to Texas and met cops at the house where the children were living on their own. There was no food on the shelves or in the fridge, but the brother and sister appeared healthy. While on the lam, Yates made frequent social media posts and shared provocative photos.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Both children have since been placed in the care of their grandmother in Alabama. A warrant for Yates' arrest was issued on December 8th for 2 counts of abandoned endangered child without intent to return. Over the past months, Yates has been posting on social media about the situation surrounding her children, which has generated tips and leads. The U.S. Marshals Gulf Coast Violent Offender Fugitive Task Force, that's a long title, on Wednesday followed the tip that led to an apartment complex in Mobile where a manager confirmed that Yates had been staying with a man. So she left out her children to get some dog alerts. At the time of her arrest, Yates was photographed handcuffed in the back of a squad car with a wide grin. The mom is being held in the Mobile County Jail awaiting extradition to Texas. Let me give you another one because we are wilding in the streets. This is from BBC News. Oklahoma mother will go to jail for marrying her daughter. An Oklahoma woman hang in there, Dr. Kerry, who married her daughter after the pair hit it off. Who would have known? Mother and daughter hit it off. Who would have guessed? Has been sentenced to 2 years in prison. Patricia Ann Spann, 45, pleaded guilty to the felony offense of incest and admitted wedding her biological daughter, Misty Velvet Dawn Spann. What? I feel like if Misty is, involved in pole work. The mother lost custody of her children and reunited with her daughter in 2014. Wonder why? The two married in March 2016 after same-sex marriage became legal in the state. Investigators later, face-to-face, not scary. The investigators later discovered Patricia Ann Spann had previously wed her son.
Wait. Nah. No.
I
will mute your mic, dog. Hold on a minute. Let her breathe a minute there.
I ain't gonna let her breathe.
So no, because she married her son and divorced him, man.
It sounds that way. Let me carry on so you can get the full story. Her son, who was 18 years old at the time, annulled the marriage on incest charges in 2010 after tying the knot with his mother in 2008, according to the Oklahoman. So the man said, can't deal with that. The man annulled it, right? Oh. The married mother and daughter were discovered by the Department of Human Services during a child welfare checkup. According to the Oklahoman, Misty Spann, this is definitely poor work, also had the marriage annulled in October last year after arguing she had been fraudulently induced into it. She said her mother had lied about consulting 3 separate attorneys who advised there would be no problems with the marriage. Patricia Ann Spann, who said she believed the union was legal since she was not listed as a biological mother on her daughter's birth certificate and had only come into contact with her 2 years beforehand. Misty Spann pleaded guilty to incest last November and was given 10 years of probation and required to undergo counseling. In addition to her prison term handed down on Tuesday, Patricia Spann will serve 8 years of probation and must register as a sex offender upon release. Under state law, marriage to a close relative is considered incest, regardless of whether a sexual relationship exists. One more. Daughter marries own mother as wife in lesbian relationship. I am on a ball today. This may sound bizarre. A girl of 26 years is married to her biological mother to live as husband and wife and build a new family. This may be one of the queer lives in the lesbian world. The daughter is the husband, while the mother is the wife in the marriage. It was gathered that Lolita, 26 years of age, was married to her mother, Loretta, 44 years of age, and both agreed to live happily together as husband and wife in South Africa. So you see this thing widespread. Lolita is not just any hickeys out in Oklahoma. You're doing it in South Africa too. Lolita, in excitement of her newfound love, was cited to have said, "My mom was there for me since I was born." Well, duh. I grew up without having a father, and I love my mom so much. She is all I have, and I don't want to stay away from her. That is why I chose to marry her, so we can live together. She is young and knows how to make me happy in bed.
No, Derek, man, we can't continue. It can't be. There can't be the more than that. That gotta be it, right? That gotta be it. That can't be.
Yeah. I love her so much I will do anything to make her happy. Many have responded differently to this, but it is their life. I suppose it is. The mother, Loretta, yeah, my daughter was ready to leave the house if I refused to marry her. Right.
Right.
Gentlemen, let me see it here. Let me wrap up. Let me just, and then I'll pass it back on to you guys, right? They had an bashment some years ago, right? It went like this. This is not a joke. This is not sporty.
Not a story. Yeah. That's right.
I can't finish the rest of that, all right? Gentlemen, this is not a joke. This is not sporty. We need fathers present in the rearing of our children because the statistics show that children are best with both parents. But if there is only one parent, the outcomes are better when it's a single father than a single mother. But that's one of those stats that nobody wants to acknowledge. There's a reason that prisons are filled with men who were raised by single mothers. But that's another conversation for another time, right? Gentlemen, vet your women properly. You need to ensure that the women with whom you choose to reproduce are mentally and emotionally stable. Do not produce with dysfunctional women. Let me repeat that. Gentlemen, do not reproduce with dysfunctional women. An apple tree will not give you pears. So if you produce with a dysfunctional woman, you are going to have a dysfunctional child. And that is a cycle out of which there is no escape. Your children's lives, gentlemen, and by extension, the quality of our communities, literally depend on your sexual choices, gentlemen. Do not make those decisions lightly.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are indeed watching the Senate podcast. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit notifications so you don't miss anything. Let's like the content, share the content, subscribe to the content so we could build the content. Have a goal, Dr. Karen.
Trying to reach my oxygen mask.
Now, I already passed out from lack of oxygen already.
Reach for the oxygen mask and attend to yourself first before helping others.
Indeed.
Let me attend to myself first, then. You go ahead and let me attend to myself.
Pathway lighting will guide you to the exit. The front is there. God. Derek, you've outdone yourself. Honestly, this one. Yeah, boy. This one is.
Pull the trigger.
Let me
have an empty.
Start from the top and then kind of work my way down. So I'm glad you highlighted the issue around men being assaulted by women. A lot of times people default to think that when a man is being assaulted, he's being assaulted by another man.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, clearly there's evidence otherwise. Roughly, I was kind of looking up some stats. So roughly 80% of sexual assaults of individuals who are assaulted 18 and under are female, which means 20% are male, right? So let's just take that stat, that 20% of young men 18 and under are being sexually assaulted. And of that, roughly 1 in 10 are some serious violations, right? And clearly the statistics will go on to show that women are perpetrating a number of these cases because it is not seen as a problem, right? In many cultures, even in our Caribbean cultures, I've spoken about this particularly for research that I've done back home in Jamaica, where boys are encouraged to be sexually active early in life because it is a marker of your sexual prowess and you stepping into manhood if you can, lay pipe early. And when I say early, I'm talking about 8 years old, 9 years old, 10 years old. Before you even reach double digits, young boys are being groomed to be sexually active. And many of these grooming processes are actually happening under the guise of women. Women are taking advantage. So I'm glad that you highlighted that. I am very disappointed that those are things that are it's real. These things are happening. And they perpetuate a number of stereotypes and issues when it comes to how men then grow up and date and relate to women who don't necessarily have similar traumas. When two people who have been sexually assaulted meet up, it can be a healing process or it can be a further dysfunctional process. So there's that. Women who perpetrate these types of crimes or, misdeeds, however you want to class them, as similar to men who perpetrate these types of things, have often a history of victimization and their own sorts of traumas going on. And it may not be traumas that these women have experienced in childhood. It may be something that they've experienced in a marriage or some adult relationship. And they find solace by seeking out younger men, and particularly for women who are teachers, easy access to your students. And you they go through an actual process of grooming students to meet the needs that their husbands or long-term partners didn't fit. So this is something that is not new. It's been going on from before you and I and Neil were born. It happens all the time. It's accepted. And what is not realized is the severe levels of dysfunction that it then imparts on these young boys. Because at 13, I thought that woman, that particular case where the woman became pregnant, first of all, we all know that there are many ways to not become pregnant, right? And they're very cheap and inexpensive ways to not become pregnant. Second, she's freaking selfish. Absolutely disgusting and selfish for you to force yourself upon somebody like that, take advantage of the role you have in his life like that, and then even more to become pregnant and bring forth the child is absolutely.
She had to. If she doesn't, that's definite jail time.
It's just beyond me. It really is just beyond me to imagine any layer of that scenario, honestly. But I did draw pause though, because my question to myself was, if I was the mother of that 13-year-old boy, what am I doing to have him set in a situation to have somebody else be called mom?
Exactly.
That had me kind of.
It means that her situation is messed up too.
Right. So clearly something else is going on in the home. And to your point about possibly, you know, the missing father and all this kind of jazz. And there are probably more children involved, you know, their siblings and that kind of thing. And so attention is lacking and all of that. But it drew pause for me because clearly there's something else going on. And this is something that I want people to also pay attention to for those who are parents on here, to please be very mindful of the engagements that your children have with other adults. Like we come from a very collectivist society in our region as the Caribbean, and a lot of us grow up with, you know, aunts and uncles who are not far in age from us, right? And we think it's all fine and dandy. Some of those encounters are setting you up as a parent for failure and your child for some severe trauma. And we have to be mindful about those relationships of how close some of these aunties and uncles are, and that, you know, the types of freedoms that you recognize your child may have with that person versus you. There's some key flags to look for in those situations, and we can discuss that. But I think it's very. I'm not saying to make you panic, but a lot of people who parents trust, and sometimes we know how this goes, right? Parents can only do so much all the time, and they do need help, even if it's a mom and dad home situation. They need a village to help support. I mean, I grew up with both parents in the house, and I still had lots of support, right? You have to be mindful of the relationships your children have with other adults, whether they're blood related or not, because more and more these days, there's a lot of, as Neil was saying earlier, a lot of infiltration, and it's dressed up in ways that you would seem very unassuming. So we have to be very, very mindful of who we're allowing our children to be exposed to and spending time with. And before I let Neil go, the other thing that just came to my mind is that twerking crap. One of the thoughts that I had many thoughts when that video was playing, the stream. One of the thoughts that came to my mind is, here you are exposing your boy child to you flexing and carrying on in this way. And then when he starts to objectify you as the mother or the sister or his girlfriend, you're wondering why and where did he get that from? Why can't you be a good boy? You're supposed to treat women properly. Why are you acting that way? Oh, he was just a baby when that happened. He wouldn't remember. Yes, they do remember. Yes, they do. I do not care how old, if you think memory starts to formulate at, it starts even sooner than what you think.
The synapses firing from 2 years old.
Thanks.
To my process it all out.
Consistently exposing your child to that foolishness. We think it's cute when they start dancing to certain songs or singing certain songs, right? Repetition will get you in trouble. My first song that I learned to dance to and sing was Nanny Wine. And it was all cute and dandy until, you know, you're breaking out and really whining. Like at the age of 3, it's like, okay, no, maybe not. Right? Snatch that up real quick. No. But now we're carrying on as if this is acceptable. Yeah, this is what is supposed to happen. No, it's not what's supposed to happen. It's not. And like Neil was saying earlier, you know, life comes at you fast and freaking furious. And here we are forcing life on these children and then turn around and wonder, why is she skinning out in front of people here when I taught her better? Or why is he not treating women properly and I taught him better? Did you really? Did you really? So yeah, that's it for the first version of download.
Thank you, Dr. Kerry. Give me here, my brother.
All right, so I can be as transparent, honest as I can be right now, right? This is a very upsetting topic for me simply because I had a pretty good childhood. I think my childhood was amazing. You know what I mean? then, a couple of things happen and, life start to happen, really start kicking, right? But by and large, before the age of, like, I would say 10, I had the perfect childhood, in my opinion. I would want any child to experience what I experienced: travel, loving parents, a neighborhood that was very close and attentive, and just being free to learn, to observe life, to ask questions, to just be free. You're having two diverse parents, that juxtapose the critical thinking in life, you know. So I get really upset when children have their innocence taken from them. It really bothers me, because I think every child, and I think this is mostly triggered by when I was young, you used to have those videos of, those ads, those commercials of children that, like, hungry in Africa. And you'll see, like, flies on the face and the little malnourishing thing. And I was like, Jesus, Lord have mercy, boy. Like, the child don't deserve to be hungry. The child don't deserve to be impoverished or anything like that. And then, of course, as you get older, you start to hear about the terrible things people do to children, right? So this is one side of me. And then the other side of me now as an adult man, right, is that when you hear about the degradation of the modern family, when you start to hear about the ills in society, when you start to hear about the problems going on in our communities, right, it is usually the man's fault. Like, when you see young boys doing reprehensible things, the man is absent, black men ain't there in the household, they're not good fathers, they ain't no good. That's why the children acting out. When you see young girls acting the fool and twerking and, pole dancing and bowling fans and stuff, the men ain't there to guide the children. The woman can only do so much. She got to play mommy and daddy. She got to work 2 jobs, etc., etc., etc.,
She did her
right?
best.
She did her best, right? And I feel that you have to be cognizant of the situation that you're in. And then the third part of this for me is a parent. You know what I mean? Now, my son is my son. I trying to create an open door policy and to have a dynamic with him that he can feel comfortable to ask me anything. And he can talk to me about anything. My son comes to me and said, Daddy, I did something bad at school. What did you do? He was talking in class. He is still trying to figure out what is. He tells me everything that he does bad at school, from small things to big things, right? And I am so, it bothers me from a parental standpoint, because I am so mindful of how I interact with my son and what he is exposed to and what he sees and what he does. I am so mindful of every piece of content he absorbs, or when we walking around the place he sees, or where my mother takes him when they're spending time together, or whether his mother, like, I am so hyper vigilant with my son, because seeing the wrong thing at the wrong time and not having context to it can lead a child to process things in a way that can give them a weird outlook on life and do things that ain't necessarily, there's something that we would have read one time that says that children are not a blank slate. They're a combination of all of your ancestors' psychological traits, the good, bad, and different, the mental illness, the narcissism, whatever is in your family tree is in your child. And what you have to do is you have to essentially guide your child to weed out the bad behaviors. Right? Anyhow, that's my setup. I think that it does not matter to me whether you're a man and you do nefarious things to your children, or you're a woman that do nefarious things for your children. If I was in government, if I was making laws, if I see you on social media twerking on a toddler, I come in for you. You got to be penalized in some way. This son husband thing, we've covered a lot in this 2 years. We had children, we see it. Children, boys being raised with gold chain, hair plait back, got on a nice polo shirt, Jordans, big bracelet, you know what I mean, and pose off. Right? Like men. And these children ain't there but 3 years old. Right? We got situations in this society where we have children swearing and cussing and behaving that sort of way. No, calling the boy little man. That my little man. Nah, my son is my boy. He is a boy. And I taught my son, you can even taught my son, no. If you call him a man, he said, no, I'm not a man, I'm a boy. And a little man, I'm a boy. He is a boy, he is a child. I think that when you have children, you have to raise them as children. And I understand you may want to expose them to the harsh realities of life at an early age, things like sex, things like how to fight, that sort of thing, right? And I ain't gonna tell nobody how to raise their child and when and where to do those things. Certainly twerking on a child, I don't know what that is teaching. And what's so reprehensible about these acts is that you twerking on the child, you posting it and uploading it to social media. So you thinking it's cool, it's cute. If my son, if I had a daughter, like they had the boy pumping gas and talking about how on I can be the only man you need, right? If my girl child was to come and bring that sort of, we saw the equivalent, right, with the cooking and thing. I said, hold on a minute. You gotta cook for me nor clean for me. I'm a man. I gotta do that for myself. I'm an adult, sorry. I gotta do that for myself, right? You cannot be my woman. You will not be the only woman I need because you're my child. I appreciate you wanting to take care of me and support me, but there will be a time and a space that time will come. Shoot, I might be 80. I need, you know what I mean? That support. They can come that time. You can wash and clean to your heart's content when I can't do for myself. But let us not conflate me being a healthy adult man, you being a child, and you wanting to do wifely things for me.
Yeah.
There you talk about going for tampons for your mother.
What is that?
I cannot imagine. I cannot begin to imagine
Why?
having that conversation with my mother. I can't. Like, I don't.
You don't get it.
That's
not help you.
I can't. I can't do it. I can't do it. And I think that we have to do a better job in our Black community of raising children. Because when we raise children, right, you might be saying, well, I am beating my child, I ain't doing this, I ain't doing that. What's the problem? What's the problem? You know, I've seen on social media mothers smoking weed with their children, blazing up children in but 13, and then smoking weed and putting up gun fingers and things like that, right? Twerking and things with children, with smaller children in the room. Shoot, we saw a video one time in the group chat where a woman was doing the deed with her toddler in the bed.
Mm-hmm. That happens all the time.
Doing what he doing, man, doing what he doing, plowing this woman, and the child just there. I ain't talking about sleeping, you know. Yep. I ain't talking about watching TV, you know. Just there, watching.
That happens way more often than you think.
I think that we need to do a better job of raising our children because our children grow up to be adults. And when the adults old and they're doing reprehensible things, and as Derek and Dr. Carrion mentioned, not having respect or value of a woman and her body, you got men that are now using women as whatever they want. But shoot, if them using their mother or seeing their mother in a sexual context, well, who's you?
Exactly.
Who is you? Random woman off your street, who's you? Right? And then you can say all men are dogs. Right? And then the mother getting in when crime happens, he's a good boy. He never hurt nobody. No, we gotta start holding. This space was created for accountability. And the reason why it seems that we be going after women is because men are being held to task every freaking day. This ain't get backsy time. This is showing you that we have to be accountable to make better people, choices, relationships, healthy situations. Right? And if we leave a certain subset of society unchecked, without repercussion, and I could go airy-fairy as them feel like and erase terms and to forget terminology and to use and behave as they feel like, we set up ourselves for disaster. Your child is your child. Your job is to raise your child. You are to teach your child right from wrong. Because at the end of the day, you do not want to raise a monster. You do not want to raise somebody that their daughter or their husband or society got to run from or to see. Because we got this thing, right? We got this thing that you can't judge lest you be judged and all of this here, right? We got this thing where it is like, you can sleep with as many people as you want as a woman and you should not be judged. And you, as a man, you can sleep with as many people as you want. You shouldn't be judged. You could do as you like as an individual and do and can't. You shouldn't be judged, right? We try to get to that point, right? But if we don't take a stand at certain points and say, look, here, tune, this is, as a society, it's too far. It's too far. I know I might be free enough. This is too far. If we do that, if we don't do that, we are going to run ourselves aground. Because what we doing, yo, what we doing that we twerking and sexualizing young boys and young girls. We got young girls twerking in a mall. Not at home. I mean, which is, it don't matter where. But you twerking and putting that out. I'm actually kind of glad in a way that they're putting it on social media because now we can see. We can see. They ain't hide up.
Exactly. I tell you all the time, we gotta be accessing social media is meant to see.
Right? And we gotta do a better job. I don't care if you have to work 2 jobs as a woman. I don't care if you have to do the single mother bit and man in the good and thing. I don't care what you gotta do, right? But when you do not pay attention to your child and the well-being of that child, and you raise that child, and that child, or sorry, you let the streets raise the child, or your neighborhood raise the child, or whoever raise the child, and the child turn out be weird, and you're in a parent-teacher meeting saying, I can't tell he nothing, he's too much man for me. You feel he's a man, I can't talk to he at 15. But that's your fault, though. That is your fault. Your first responsibility as a parent is to be just that, a parent. Your first responsibility of having an offspring is to raise that child. Right? I understand it sucks. We got single mothers all about the place. And you got to work to make ends meet. You got to do 2 or 3 jobs. That is fine. But you know what? You got to figure it out. You have to find people and support systems to help you. Man, you got to do a better job of stepping up. I understand. Go ahead.
I'm not sorry to cross you. That statement about single mothers and men stepping up is a irk for me. I really would like to put it in here, and I'm sure some of the women on here might be upset when I say it, but single motherdom, there's a segment of it that is by choice.
Get it.
Single motherdom doesn't just happen.
Get it.
All right. I have friends who have been married and they have their children and then they divorce and they want to hold the title of single mother. No, you're now co-parenting. I want to be clear on this because I just feel like we throw out these terms, and I know you guys always talk about word salads and that kind of stuff. Well, for me, operating in this space and having worked with a number of women who are single mothers, either by choice or by actual circumstance because the partner passed or illness or something. I want to make it clear that there are many women out here who are choosing to be single moms, right? Because like I said, there are many ways, many ways to not get pregnant, right?
And it starts with, hold on, not across you, but the first one is discernment in the man you choose to lie with.
Who you choose, and listen, I can't cast judgment on anybody. I have had my one night stands. I've even gone back to make sure I was clear that I had a one night stand because, sometimes you're not so sure when alcohol is involved. But I've gone back.
Go have story time with Dr. Carey. That's a hard story.
But I am very clear as to if the risk were to be taken to become pregnant, I am very clear as to who that person is and where he stands and what the situation would be moving forward, right? So I just want to point out that we say single mom as if, oh my God, woe unto she. A lot of women out here are choosing to be.
And it is not a badge of honor. It is not a badge of honor.
But that's the thing. It has been glorified.
No.
So people do see it as, yeah, I got my kids. I can do it. I can do bad all by myself. And, to Dr. Kerry's point that some people are choosing to be single mothers subconsciously or consciously. I have a video.
I don't want to see this video. I see this video already there.
The clip is always full. So
Derek,
let us get the video deal. Let's run the video on
let me
screen.
say,
No,
let me say to Dr. Carey here, someone. This
said it to Dr. Carey already. We got preempted that, right? So I didn't want to stick. I didn't want to waste the time. It's 2 minutes and 9 seconds long. It was trending on the spiritual word and stuff like that. So let's have a watch of this video, hear what this gentleman has to say, right?
God, blame boy, not this one. Oh,
I see you,
Jesus.
Dr. Carey, I see you. Let's go. Let's crank.
All right, let me crank. Yeah. All right, let me go. 3, 2, 1.
Them, I was being irresponsible, yet not wearing protection. But I always tell these women that I got pregnant that I do not want to be a father to these children. And I offer to pay for the abortion. Majority of times, they'll either take the abortion or they'll take a plan B. But only these 7 have kept these children. But the crazy thing about it is they want me to be responsible for some children I told them I did not want. So for some years now, some of them been trying to get in contact with me, access denied. Because I don't really know why you trying to get in contact with me. I done told you I did not want them kids. So don't expect me to be responsible financially, emotional, spiritually, mentally, or physically with some kids I do not want. And I don't give a fuck what nobody think about it. You're not going to force children up on me. Yeah, we both made the decision to lay down and have intercourse. We both was irresponsible about the decisions we made that night. Yeah, I could have pulled out, but I didn't. And I ain't care to pull out because I'm not the one that's going to have to carry a baby for 9 months. It's the woman. In my opinion, women should be more careful on who they sleep with. Because you're going to be like, one of my baby mamas trying to find me so I can financially support a kid I done told her or them I did not want. Another thing is, these just jump offs. These the type of women that I ain't even had to do nothing for. The bare minimum, but they gave me access to their body and they think I want to be a father to a child for one of them? Like, I don't even have no type of love for these women. How do they expect me to love these children? Before y'all say, oh, he irresponsible, he a deadbeat, he don't take accountability. Yeah, I do. I just don't give a fuck. You ain't gonna force these children on me when I told you I ain't want them. Yeah, I can offer to pay for abortion, but at what point can I force a woman to go get an abortion? I cannot. A woman say, my body, my choice, but I...
All right, so there's a lot here to unpack, right? And I can take this one. I can take this one. Cocoa blend. Gentlemen, we talk, right? Yes, the woman got to carry the child. I can address the women in a minute, but it's important, it's imperative that I talk to the man here, right? If you don't love a woman, you don't want children, you let her know up front, right? You can wear a condom. Condoms break. Make sure she uses a plan B. Plan Bs sometimes don't work. If you use a condom, then use a plan B, and then she don't want an abortion or anything like that, that is an unfortunate set of circumstances. That is just life for the tropics, but it is your responsibility, right? It is your responsibility that you chose to jump off, not 1, but 7 big man. 7 big man. No, gentlemen. No, gentlemen. I understand we live in a time where everybody want to have fun, right? And everybody loves sex. Who don't love sex in 2023, right? We could get it however it fit in. We want it. But there are ways and means to do things.
Yep.
Talk about you could have pulled out, wear a condom, bruh. Double bag if you need to.
Ooh.
You understand? Get a vasectomy if you don't want children. You got
There's
several.
a grand idea.
You have several different ways that you. 7 big man. No, you get no respect from me. You get none. You're not a man. You're a little boy walking about with a little toy gun as a penis. Right? I don't have no respect for any man, right? That has unprotected sex with a woman. Say, oh, I don't want to have children. Have unprotected sex with a woman. The child comes and you do not take responsibility for it. That's number 1. Women, I forget one. At the same time, right? You have to choose who you lie down with. But man tells you he does not want children, or you do not know this man, or you and this man are not in anything to build or to move or to create, and this man is not moving with the intent to make you this man his woman or wife, ensure and make sure that man wears a condom. Tell the man here, you want to come to the park, you got to wear a helmet. Straight. Do not come. Let the man raw dog you, brat inside you. Don't take the plan B. Don't have an abortion, and then 10, 15 months later, you talking about your father is a deadbeat father. You try to hit at this man. No. If you're having a casual sexual relationship with a man, let him man wear a helmet. Be on the pill. Use the after morning pill just for safe measures. Right? I understand abortion is very as touch and go with a lot of women, right? But there are ways to cut off that horse at the pass. You understand what he's saying?
Yep.
Both men and women are responsible for a child when it's born. Yes, women bear more responsibility because it's her body and her hormones change and it will impact her more. But both people are responsible for a child's life. So if you want to play a Russian, because that's what sex is, unprotected sex is Russian roulette.
Mm-hmm.
You spin in the barrel and you click, your turn, click, But then somebody brains on the floor and all of a sudden now it's like, this man's a deadbeat dad and this woman ain't a good much mother. And no.
Mm-hmm.
Sex comes with responsibility as adults. It comes with a level of responsibility. Just like a gun, it comes with responsibility for both men and women. If you are a woman, you have to protect your body. And you have to protect your entire oneness. For men, you got to protect your resources. You have to protect your investment and your legacy. If you do not want children, and you have not, if I haven't said, if I being a woman, I like someone wants you. That's how, shoot, that happened to me and that happened to many men. Woman say, look, I got something for you. I don't know you from a can of paint, but I got something for you. You say, well, all right, well, shoot. Let me try a thing here.
Shut up, my man Graves in the chat, man. Good to see you, Graves.
Yeah, shut up, Graves. You say, all right, let me live a little, right? Best believe that when you encounter that person, you strapped to the nine, You don't know this person. You do not know this person. You don't know if this person is going to make a good mother. You don't know if this person is a great person. You don't know what this person's soul like. You don't know whatever emotional, physical, and financial, all the least. This person you do not know from a can of paint. And this person, you raw dog this person, and then you say, all right, I hit her up. Let me keep it pushing. And then she talk about she's got a child, and all of a sudden, no, you dodge it, she's courts. You dodge it, she's bailiff. You know what? Ask you phone.
Because Nicholas McGarry, man, good to see you, buddy.
No, it is irresponsible. And if I dare say, look, I just want people to understand, right? That we playing the way people treat children in today's age is disgusting to me. I ain't talking about everyone. Of course, I'm not talking about majority.
Not all.
But even if it is 1% of 1%, it is disgusting how people treat children. Some people treat children like accessories. Some people treat children as a lure for likes and follows on social media. Some people use children as validation for themselves. It is disgusting.
Children are commodities. They're a commodity.
Right? If you are going to have if my mother tell me, look, my mother tell me from earlier in the game when I was a teenager, right? If you're doing my things, you gotta bear my responsibilities, whatever that look like. So if you can go and you can, I care if it protected, unprotected, I cares not. You bring a child here, it's yours. You gotta protect your child. You gotta provide for the child. You gotta take care of your child. I don't care what the woman is. I don't care what relationship you got with the woman. I don't care if the woman is a complete goat. Your responsibility is to take care of that child. And no, I will not be taking care of your child because you will have to take care of your child. I will play the grandmother role and take child on weekends, but your child is yours. You understand? And a lot of people having children are putting it on other people. People having children are putting it on the neighborhood, putting it on the welfare system. And that is disgusting.
But does say, children don't suffer. We like the system in Barbados.
Right? It's disgusting.
Because Graves is here saying you should address the number 7. They didn't know about the others. Because somewhere along the line,
right?
And this guy there are a lot of things there going on. He's using some of the talking points that, channels like us would use. But, is on a woman to grant access to a man and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's her body, her choice, and all sorts of BS.
And things like that kind of pervert what is we try to do. People like us and the other channels that we follow and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So when we may hear a man saying stuff like this, You say, but these are the kind of things that, people like us would say. You don't understanding that this dude is as irresponsible as it gets, and nobody endorses that.
He is not a man. No provision, no problem solving,
Yeah.
procreation, no discipline.
He has hinted that there are more than 7 because this is the 7 that he don't want.
This is the 7 that hitting him up.
Right? These are 7 he don't want. And a dude like this, right? Because to come to Neil's point now with the women, how does he get 7 women pregnant? How does a dude like this get 7 women pregnant? Because a dude like this should got 7 women.
He should have not one.
Because again, the women they say, we standards ever so high, etc., etc., etc. These men ain't shit. We hear that all the time. But this dude got 7 women tracking he down for child support.
7 that he willing to admit.
These 7 that he's kind of like
he said that these are the 7 that didn't accept the abortion option.
Right. This is so like
now we get it, right? You don't want the children. Left out the women. Don't raw dog them. This ain't that hard.
It ain't complicated, yo. It's simple to all.
Yeah. CIA, bro. Good to see you. He said he didn't have to do anything to get them in bed. Standards low.
Low, yeah.
And that brings us full circle now to what we're talking about tonight. Yeah. These low standards come from somewhere, right? And this is what he said last week. People would say making a sandwich is slavery and all that kind of thing. This man got 7 women pregnant. You understand what he's saying? We're trying to say here. This is the real definition of pick me. Women will look at another woman who is out there saying, well, yeah, I can submit to my man and then with our quarreling thing.
He's a
you want a little food. You want a little food, they can make food free. You want me to wash some clothes, I could do that. And women will say that woman is a pick me. But these 7 women here, let me pick me's.
And then
he had to do nothing.
Wait.
Nothing.
Keisha about there.
He had to do to get these women not only in bed, but getting them pregnant.
Well, they weren't necessarily in bed. Car back, bathroom, at a bar.
Listen,
there's jump offs.
But here's my thing with that too, Derek. What's upset me, right, is know that these women, after having the experience of this go as of an adult, a human being, this idiot for a human being that guys in under a mind, right? Then will now come and tell me and you, I ain't submitted to no mind, and I ain't making the food for the mind, and I ain't nurturing no mind. Man ain't shit. So no, you give away your most valuable asset as a woman. You have given up, right? From a goat.
A man that was up about you.
To a man that show you from jump and ball one that he's a goat. Even, okay, let's say he lied to you. Let's say he tricked you. Let me say he's really the devil, right? The point remains is that you can't now come and tell me, I'm trying to make it work with you and you child, I'm trying to, wife you up and thing. You talk about how I ain't catering to the man. I'm making a sandwich for the man. I ain't doing this for the man or that. And all they coming to do is protect, provide, and take care of you and your child. And to actually build a life for you, a meaningful, loving, committed relationship with you. And I can't get a sandwich. But this man get your entire guts. Yes, I guess the guts. The man got your guts and your body. And what because this man click, y'all ain't in nothing. There's a problem for me, yo. There's a this is such sorry, Dr. Carey, but this is so twisted that we live in an age, right? Where being in a committed relationship and doing for your partner and being in your feminine energy is reprehensible and wrapped up in all the terms you could call a man. But sex is given away, yo, given away.
So on that point, I don't know if I sent it to you, Neil, but I know I sent it to Derek. There was a clip that my uncle sent me today. This lady, a poet, was talking about the fact that, and I guess this is along the lines of sexual due diligence, where she would rather go ahead and willingly submit body to make sure that there is sexual chemistry and compatibility versus submit mind first. And I was watching it and I thought to myself, so I must lay down with someone who doesn't mentally stimulate me to find out if sexually he can keep stimulating me. To then say, okay, mentally I'll be okay. It just, the word salad and the whole convoluted dipsy doodling thing was real.
Here's the thing, right? Sex is, again, Dave Chappelle said it best. If pussy was a stock,
That's not
It tree floor.
value
Tree the floor.
plummeted.
Yeah.
It tree the
There's
floor,
no
yo.
value in it. In sex,
None.
disposable, discardable.
Colin.
Until they realize later in life the value of it. So because I am who I am, again, I've sent both of you a video. Let's have a watch that video right now. It's the last thing I would have sent both of you. We could put it on screen for the goodly people. And this is the Neil's point just now. That being chaste and virtuous, right,
Played
is
out.
played out and reprehensible old fashioned. Listen to this video, of course.
It's the last video.
Yeah. With
Yes,
two people
please.
sign up.
Yeah.
Interview. Yeah.
All
All
right.
right.
Ready?
3, 2, 1.
Choose abstinence.
It sounds corny, but when I was younger, my mom said to be very, very picky about who you choose to have sex with. I took it to heart, and then middle school, high school, everyone was having sex, and no one was offering to have sex with me. I wasn't gonna do it, but it would have been nice to have an offer. And then insecurities took in, but I had a relationship with the Lord, so I prayed about it. And he basically said, you don't really want to, so why would you want someone to offer it? I'm like, you got a point. So it's just the matter of being content with who I am, and then also understanding sex is such a deep thing. Sex is a very powerful thing. And it's very intimate and very personable, and I'm kind of like not into like, oh, I'm sorry, shoot, sorry. You're good. I don't know, I just think it's very intimate. So it's like the reality of someone being literally inside of me. It's like, I need to know who you are. Especially if you're gonna come inside me, like what the hell? Like, I'm not just gonna do that on the first night. Like, it's just more so, not taboo, but it's something that I know I'll fully enjoy, but I would want to be safe in that.
And that's
my girl.
Listen.
Big up the desirable truth, man. And you heard what she said, though? You heard what she said? Who taught her about that?
Her
value?
mother.
Her mother.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Her
That's what's supposed to
mother.
teach you.
Her mother showed her that. But not, these mothers telling you, yeah, don't get married too early, too young. Use it late
You don't
teens,
need no
early
man.
20s, around about while, and whoever get married later in life. And I mean, my grace here saying people these days would rather bring a child into the world with someone than get married. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Let me.
That is a fact.
Make no sense.
Because it is glorified. It is glorified. This single mother thing, I could do bad all by myself. Marissa is saying God showed the mother that. God was the foundation. Yeah.
Foundation. Yeah, absolutely.
But here's the thing, right? I'm gonna break it down. People always laugh at how I put things, right? But I find when you break things down to its simplest form, you see the ridiculousness in the thought process going contra to it or surrounding it. You are telling me, as a man and or woman, it's funny in today's age, I got a man and or woman. Anyhow, you have to you are gonna allow someone to go inside of you, exchange bodily fluids. You were saying STDs and STIs. You were saying pregnancy. You risking all of these soul ties, all of these things you risking just to get a nut. So when all the repercussions come from it, you got STD or STI, you got a child, you got soul ties, and you realize you can't easily get this person from around you, right? You're allowing a contaminated energy around you, right? For what? For pleasure?
To be part of a Spartan club. Didn't you see the teacher that also wanted to be in 300? You guys are missing the mark.
Listen, Derek, I said it to, what did they say? I said it today in a group chat. What's the worth fit no more? It is not worth what you have to go through to get it. And it's funny to say that in an age where it is so plentiful, especially if you're a man that move in a certain type of way and you look a sort of way, right? But it just is not worth it. If you ain't got like a supplier or you don't have, like if you got a no go from scratch, right?
I got a supplier.
Yeah, if you got a supplier. If you don't have a supplier,
drugs.
If you don't have a supplier, right? And you know gotta go from start to engage someone to get that physical, emotional, mental stimulation from someone. It is not worth it today with how the thinking is so pervasive in people. And why would I engage a woman today, right? I want sex, all right? I want sex. Hey, woman, and this is the thing, I had this conversation today. You could say up front and say, here, tune, I like saying I want to. Cards up front, I just want like to have sex with you. That's all I want. I just want to have a easy, casual relationship with you, right? We agree to terms and conditions. But somewhere down the road, it always goes cocky. But somebody's catch feelings, right? Somebody, though, can blame the other for not doing something or not following the script or whatever, right? You get contention. All right. Let's say you want, I think, and it is, I find myself, if I can be truly transparent, I find myself in a quandary. I feel myself in a very oxymoronic state. Because in one hand, it's simple to get sex in 2023. It's probably the easiest time in history for a man to get sex. Consensual sex.
Female empowerment.
It is easy to have sex in 2023. But at what cost? At what price? Yo, ain't everybody that wrong you that you should be sticking it in? Ain't everybody you allowing you space and around you? Bring out your house.
That is not what is being communicated, especially to our girls. Our girls are being encouraged to go there,
to give it away,
sleep around,
give it
like
away,
men, and they're getting that a lot of times from them. You know, when the man tell you don't go and live your life and blah blah blah, and then we get a situation like this one with this meme with Michael B. Jordan. Neil put that on screen for the people, let the people see what's going on.
You got that, Dr.
This is
Gary?
what happens.
Yep.
You're on screen.
The man they have babies by, we see him there on the left, and then we have the man that they expect to take care of them. And ladies, if this is the case you are presenting, this is not fair to the dude on the right.
But it's not fair to the woman either, because it shows her decision-making abilities are poor.
And here's the thing. Invariably, ladies get their best choices earlier in life.
Jeez.
That's just how it works. That's how it works.
People don't grasp this, you know.
Yeah, because it is not, men will value more that which is beautiful, that which is vulnerable, that which cannot protect itself. I feel like I said this on a live stream before.
Yeah, men want purpose, and then that purpose is the peace.
Yeah, that's what men will protect. When you talk about protect black women, men will protect. Graves is saying the dude on the right will probably have to do more and wait longer. And that's a fact. And Mercy is saying I spend more money. Yeah,
I just ain't jumping through their hoops, not me.
There's a lady, Eva Marcel, Eva Pickford, who recently divorced her husband, a guy named Michael. She's a lawyer guy, right? Now, she had a child from a previous marriage. Her husband that she recently divorced is now going to have to pay a child support for all three of her children. Not just the two he had with her, but the one from a previous marriage, right? She changed that child's name to his last name. Right?
So he adopted the child. He adopted, okay.
So it's like a three-car movement there. So he three-car man, that kind of action, right? So my man get hold of for all these things. Right? You understand what I mean? So we got these kind of situations where this guy, the first husband we know how he gone through the ether. But because this second guy is supporting the children, he is the man that getting put on child support. So to Marissa's point, you're right, he's spending more money. He got to pay more I know he got to pay this woman who initiated the divorce proceedings. He got to pay she to get for wrong. Guess who got to pay the lawyer fees? He.
Mm-hmm.
This is why Dr. Dre was like, you know what? You're right. The prenup don't count. Just give you money and let you go along because I can't afford, even as a billionaire, to drag this out in court with you. I still got to pay for you to drag it out, and then I got to pay lawyer fees again. I can't do it.
You heard the interview with Dr. Dre talking about where he is now in life.
Yeah, the man said he feels sorry for anybody who's married right now.
Because the guy that was interviewing him was married, right? And in a relationship or whatever. And the man said, he might ask Dr. Dre, what advice, what have you learned? Or what advice would you give to younger people, younger men and stuff like that? The man said, y'all young motherfuckers, honestly speaking, I don't know. He might say he's the freest he has ever been in his life. And for the first time, he feels free of the burden of having to deal with situations he doesn't have to control, or he feels free of, I don't want to say responsibility, but I can go look for it. But basically he was saying, right, like this is the first time he feels at peace and at ease. And he don't know how young men coming up today dealing with the dating market today.
Nicholas is asking about why are there decision-making skills in this state? Bad parenting?
Can I address that?
Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm glad he asked that question because I wanted to come back to another point I think Aston made earlier about parenting and the way that parenting has gone on for the past few years, the past, I guess, 40 years, after we were born.
Yeah.
That parents are now taking more of the stance of being a friend. And that is part and parcel of the problem. One, parents have gotten younger. I mean, like globally younger, right? We've kind of gone back to the point where it was decades ago, where you'd have teenagers. A lot of people had children when they were teenagers back in the day, and now we've cycled back to that. So we have a lot more younger parents out there, and so we have many parents who are now navigating this whole thing of being friends with their child, particularly if you are a single mother who is raising a boy, because you do not want him to grow up and retaliate against you because you know what the masculine is about.
You secure your masculine, you're raising the masculine you want.
You temper it or you alter it to fit what you needed from the child's father, right? And so you remember, I keep telling you guys about this, and women don't want to admit this. The big M word in womanhood, manipulating, right? And I don't mean it in a negative way for those women who are hearing me for the first time. I talk about manipulation both in terms of manipulating for positive outcomes as well as for negative outcomes. And what women have been predominantly socialized to do is to manipulate for negative outcomes.
Take a pen, Dr. Kerry, because I want to speak to your point about manipulation. So, Neil, let's get the last video that I just that I would have highlighted for you there. Number just now it's 7 seconds long.
Wait,
hold on. Get that on screen for the fourth. This is the episode 203 of the Senate podcast live stream entitled Mommie Dearest. How much our mothers to blame for the dysfunction in our communities? And we are unpacking a lot here tonight. Hit the like button on the way in, please do. We appreciate that. Hit the notification bell as well. Yes, Graves is saying our grandparents and their parents and grandparents were young. I agree. But the difference here, Graves, is that our
there was marriage.
Not only that, but we would have been raised. That's a very critical point too. We would have been raised by grandparents as well. So even though our parents might have been young, our grandparents had way more say because of the extended family and stuff like that. But when it's young single mother, and she's sisters because let me be real, young single mother and she's sisters raising a child. These are the kind of dysfunctional things that we see. But give me that 7 seconds there, folks. Watch it quick because it's good on fast.
All right, let me get it in 3, 2, 1. Yep.
Roll it for the people again there. You roll it for the people again in case the blink and miss it. People, she asks, why are you single? And she says, I got boys. You see how the boys come out. All three of them thugging. And
Yeah,
when them end up in jail, and guess what? Why would they be going? You see what they're coming out to do? They're coming out to protect mama.
She probably even problem solve too.
But they are. Each one of them is a different caricature of some aspect of masculine. The defender, the protector, the probably one who lay pipe really good. This is what I'm talking about when I always have stood by this notion of women cannot raise men. And I cannot say it. I know it hurts people, particularly men who have been raised by single women. I understand that. I don't mean it in offense. I'm simply saying that in order for a man to function fully in masculine energy and to understand all those 4 P's and to navigate, he needs at some point in his life a male figure who has done that honorably to show him and to impart that, whether directly or indirectly, right? A woman doing that by herself for the extent of her boy child's life does not do it justice. It just doesn't happen in the way that it needs to. I'm not saying that we don't have women out here who are, as you guys have said, strong, independent mothers who have raised good men, right? But there is a difference, as Derek said earlier, when you have a 2-parent household and the outcome of the product of the children or child versus a single parent household, right? And men who are single parents do better because they readily admit when they fall short of imparting feminine to a girl child in particular.
You're just preaching right now, doctor. You're just preaching.
And men also will admit when they are falling short in the nurturing aspect and comforting aspect of their boy child. Like they know.
They
Men
know full well. Full well.
And so they will seek either their mother to help them navigate that with a boy child or with their daughter, or they seek their sister, right? And say, hey, sis, I need you to come in and help my daughter navigate whatever. They do it a lot better and in a more responsible manner than single mothers. And we do not talk about this. We do not honor the fathers who are single fathers in our community. And by and large, they are a very large segment of our community, but we don't talk about it, right? And we don't pay attention to the outcomes. The outcomes are significant, as Derek said earlier, in 2-parent household products produced and single-parent father products produced are probably on par versus single mother and product produced not so good.
I agree with you. Look, honestly, Dr. Carey, I think that is the golden, most impactful part of this podcast, because there's so much to unpack from what you just said. In that, women, because there's a subset of it in our community where women stop men from seeing their children and being fathers.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
There's also the subset. I know Derek Smellick, you probably got that queue up too.
I do.
Right, but there's also there's also the talking point of women. If you have any woman, right? Don't let me say any woman.
Before you lost, run it there so for the people so that that give a chance to catch your next thought.
Wait. I know.
It's the last thing I know saying you there, man.
Wait, hold on. I gotta get it. But as I get this down, right? Please understand, right? Right? There's something to be said also for women. Lost my train of thought. Let me get this on screen and they can come back. All right, let me get it in. You got it, Dr. K, right? All right, in 3, 2, 1. Right, I couldn't play the audio because, but yeah, when your chair reminds you that you already fought. But because you as a woman, I would like to do a poll of women that have raised, like being single mothers and raised sons, or shoot, even daughters. and really at the end of it saying they would do it again. If they had the opportunity to do it again, they would do it without a man or do it without a father being present. Right? I do not know anyone that would go in this situation. I had a conversation with my mother one time, and my mother readily admits that if she had to do it again, she would have done things a little different when it comes to having a father figure or a father in the household, right? Or having that situation being a bit more accessible to us, right? And that is important. I don't know anyone. And shoot, as far as I concern, me and my brother, we ain't turn out like, and we may have our challenges, but by and large, we ain't like menaces to society or being disrespectful to women, or we got our challenges, but by and large, we figure out and we do things in a manner and we self-aware and we take stock and accountability, right? But I don't know why do we glorify being a single mother? Why do we glamorize it? Just because it worked for somebody. And this is why Derek would have said one time, right? I can't remember the podcast, the stream, but the episode was, be careful of the advice you get from people, right? We were talking about how in your various communities or whatever, be careful with the people you get relationship advice from. But that can extend to anything in life, particularly when it comes to having children and raising children. Men can't say nothing about mothers. We can't say, women should do to raise children or whatever, right? That is the pervasive thought. But at the end of the day, if you have a child, you should have a community of the older generation or even peers to tell you, yeah, sis, you need to, that man, he need a father figure. Whether it's a pastor, whether it's a cadet, whatever it is, that person needs some form of masculinity in his life. I understand that you're making it work. You pay the bills, the child going to school, the child ain't hungry. You engaging the child, you giving the child gifts or whatever, and you even having a rapport with the child to feel comfortable to share things with you in an emotional sense. You are providing for the child, but you are providing from a feminine place. And for a complete human being to be a functioning adult, they need both masculine and feminine understanding within them. You need it. Because what is here men don't communicate well. We're not in tune with our thoughts and emotions. We ain't willing to share, right? They want us to be more in tune with our femininity, right? And, women need to be more in touch with their masculinity because they don't want to be damsel in it.
I'm going to challenge that. I'm going to push back on that.
Okay.
Because I actually, I can't find the word. I reject, that's what it is. I reject the notion that women need to be more masculine or more feminine. And I reject the notion that men need to be more feminine or I reject that completely.
Okay.
What I challenge on is both parties, men and women, becoming more emotionally intelligent, right? Taking out masculine or feminine completely, because you cannot understand masculine or feminine energy, its principles, its rhythms, its responsibilities, as well as its influences, if you do not understand fundamentally your emotional core. And what has happened is that we have perpetuated this whole entire argument about men not being emotional and women predominantly being the nurturer, when in fact, it is the switch around. Men are nurturing, right? Absolutely nurturing. And they actually teach women, when it is balanced, when these energies are understood and balanced and valued and respected, men teach, and what some people might say discipline, because the structure of a man teaching comes in the form of discipline and routine, how women should become more vulnerable and safe to be women. To step into that, right? This is the we have used, to your guys' points that you've been putting out for the past 2 years. we are using words in such a way that we have spun ourselves out of fundamental core understanding of balance, of the necessity of balance and the necessity of respecting the energies, but fundamentally honoring emotion, right? And the discipline of the man and the chaos and the irregularity of the woman. They need to happen with each other in order for the balance to occur. So I'm going to challenge all of us, even myself, to stop saying this whole thing of men are not emotional and men need to be more emotional. Men are some of the most emotional beings on this planet. It is just that we as women have not honored and provided safe space for them to actually show us that, right? And women can be structured, but by and large, what has happened is that we have been overly structured, even in chaos, right? And have lost our way to regain the balance in order to yield what you guys are calling submissive. It is the fact that we as women need to honor our balance and yield and get back into core in order for everything else to be regulated. So I want to challenge that.
I'll say this right to your point, Dr. Kerry, because we are 10 past 10 in Barbados and the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. I'll say this to your point. A woman's first learns how to interact with a man by her relationship with her father.
Yes.
That is where she learns
Absolutely.
how a man is supposed to procreate, etc. You know, you're talking about sex and food. You're talking about her interactions with her father, the ability to speak and love and nurture, etc. She learns from her relationship with her father, which means that when your mother decides to be a single mother by choice,
right,
and chases your father out to the house, and to Neil's point, does not want you to interact with your father as a young girl, then you grow up with a warped and distorted view of the relationships with men. But that is what we can talk about on Thursday night, because I can get into that with Thursday night's episode called Kiss, Kiss, Bang, Bang. That is what is the name of that. I see Graves here saying it is easier to get a baby, that is, than to have a relationship and a marriage. That's a fact. Getting a baby is easy to do. Not so hard to maintain it over 80-year span. But it's easier to do that than to actually work on yourself and work with somebody to have a relationship. So I sent you guys a video. Let's run that. This is the very last video we can show for the night. Before we get out of here, it's 12 minutes past the hour of 10 in Barbados in the Eastern Caribbean. Folks who have been watching the Senate podcast, thank you so much for tuning in. Neil, myself, and Dr. Kerry, we do not make up the rules. We just make sure you know what they are. Be the best version of you for you. We can come back again on Thursday for another live stream. Hey, if you think that we're bashing, stop doing the junk. We won't talk about it, right? Just saying. We get out of video there, Neil. Or before we punch out. Just remember, folks, to be careful out here in these streets, because you can see when the later.
Because I support single motherhood, promote single motherhood.
Yeah, and to second that motion, I was told I was wrong with the able-bodied community. That's right, because I do everything with one arm tied behind my back. I work, I eat, I sleep, I drive. I do everything one arm. And guess what? After years and years of doing everything with just one arm, that one arm is just big and strong. Now, I know what you're thinking, but you have two arms, Vader. Wouldn't it be easier to use both arms? Listen, just because you have two arms don't mean it'll be easier to do everything two-armed. Guess what? Sometimes I lift things that are heavy. If I try to lift it with both arms and I couldn't lift it, everybody would call me weak. But if I try to lift it with one arm and can't lift it, everyone gives me admiration for trying. And if you think anything I said made the slightest bit of sense, you and this woman deserve each other. Just because you can do a thing does not mean you should.